Alright then. So, today, tonight, at this hour, at this very moment, um, I think that this time I'm gonna end up discussing my career choice. Career choice, why I'm choosing to study what it is that I'm studying, why it is that I'm doing what it is that I'm doing, you know? Oh! I have some dark ass eyes. Oh my gosh. I wonder if I can fix the light. Yikes. Alright, anywho, I guess today I'm just gonna discuss what I have gone through to make me decide the career path that I have chosen to do. Alright. So to be honest, I don't even know what it is I'm doing right now. I'm just kidding. um to be honest, when I like growing up as a kid, you know how like you have like that like mentality of like everything's like pretty simple in terms of jobs. Like you're either gonna be a cop, a teacher, firefighter, things like that, a doctor, but it's never really been very specified as to what it is that you're gonna do and stuff like that. Like what kind of doctor, like where in the police force are you gonna join, what kind of teacher are you gonna be and stuff like that. Oh, and so for me that was like always a thing. And then in middle school I wanted to be a lawyer. Like something about it just like really intrigued me. And then something else that amped me up into wanting to be a lawyer is that my mom in particular would always be like, you just love to argue, don't you? Like you just keep on arguing and you just can't like, you can never be wrong. And I'm like, it's because I honestly think that I am rarely wrong in terms of arguments with individuals or having conversations with individuals where there's a point to be made. I feel like I'm rarely ever wrong. I could be wrong, but I don't know. But she just kind of like pushed me more and more into wanting to be a lawyer and stuff like that. So that was the thing that really had me going for like middle school and like the first 2 years of high school. Then junior year, it was kind of like, what is it that I really want to do? And like if you've seen my previous videos, you know that I went through my moment of just darkness and despair within my own puny little mind. It's probably like this big. This is honestly just a giant head. This is how big the brain is. But anyways, that small little thing came up with the idea that, hey, I want to be a psychologist. Pero por qué? But why? Pero why? And Paraguay. And I, deep in my little heart, the little black one that's like this big, is big, this big. This little thing is inside of me saying like, you don't want something for me is like, I don't want anyone to feel the way that I felt, because I feel like I felt very like, I was at a pretty low point in my life. So for me it's very like, I don't want people to feel the way that I felt. And that feeling was a very negative feeling. So if there's any way that I could like really support someone, really be there for someone in a way that I feel like there wasn't that person for me, then that's something that I want to do. And I kind of want to do that as a psychologist. I feel like that's something that can be done very well. And that's something that I wanted to do for people within like preteens to like young adults, because I feel like particularly as like preteens like and teenagers and stuff like that, early teenagers, adolescents and shit like that, I feel like there's this thing of like not really being able to fit in this like social media. I feel like, and like whatever it is that something watches, whatever it is something people interact with, those are the things that really influence our systematic views on the world and like the people around us. So that's where the bullying comes in, the judging, the cliques and stuff like that. So I just feel like it's just at times it's very difficult, especially because like you think no one really understands you when really people do, but you're just very stubborn about those kinds of things. It's a very like what's that, kind of not selfish point of view, but very like me, no one understands me let me try to talk about myself so that you can try to understand me, but even then you're not going to understand me, so what's the point? So I don't know, it's just very those kind of mentality. So I would like to be a psychologist and just like really be there for like those like many people and stuff like that. And so that was my mentality as to why I wanted to be a psychologist and everything like that, or a counselor or something like that. So that really developed and it became very concrete. And something that like really pushes me, something that I came up with in my little head, is that like I want to give someone the voice that I never had, and I want to be the ears for someone that I never had. So like I just want someone to be able to open up, and if they want someone to listen, I'll be that person just to listen. Even if they don't want to respond back, like just be that person to like really listen to whatever it is that a person's going through, you know? But yeah, to be honest, like, and then on the side, I have my little, like, if I were to become famous and stuff like that, if I were to be a singer, you know? If I were to become a singer, like, that route and everything like that, like, that's something why I really wanted to become famous, or I wish I could. Like the little, like, you know, those little like dreams that you have in the back of your mind, like, but simply because I want to tell my story of what I've gone through, and really like I wish to be very like a front runner for social activism, for difficulties that people have gone through, and just really be like, yo, you can connect to my story in some sense, and be like, yo, like, this such and such individual was able to go through it. I feel like I can have some type of capability of doing that as well. So that's why I feel like I could do that by becoming famous, because, you know, like, people, like, fans end up like really paying attention to the lives of these famous individuals. And so I feel like I want someone to pay attention to my life, just so that they could be like, oh my gosh, they went through some shit, I can go through my shit, and I'll progress. And even if like I keep on falling, eventually I can get back up and stuff like that. But that's just my thing. That's just like the little like that's a little side thing. But the main thing is the whole psychologist kind of thing and stuff like that. So then at first it was just psychologists and stuff like that. Then when I got into like my first year of like my senior year, and then my first year of college, those were my like it progressed into being not just a psychologist but a child psychologist, and particularly like LGBTQ individuals, and then people of color as well, because I feel like those whether it be separate separate identities or identities that intersect, I really want those kind of things to be like something that I really am able to put my best foot forward to like really support these individuals, these groups of identities and stuff like that. Excuse me. And then eventually I ended up taking a gender studies class. My my last quarter, my spring quarter of my first year, and like it just really opened up a lot of things for me. It was just like maybe like putting my feet in the water kind of thing, but it really opened up a lot of things for me. So, and this was when now this was around the time that my mom and dad separated and stuff like that. So like for me, like eventually like I really became much more like wanting to support more just women of color, because it's like something that like really is something difficult, and like something that really intersects a lot of individuals, and it really creates a lot of hardships, you know. So I eventually came up with this thing where now I want to open up a center, and this center is I would like to open up a center that's both LGBTQ oriented and a women's center as well. And I would like to open it where I'm from, North Long Beach, because it's like the LGBT center is in downtown Long Beach. I honestly did not even know that that thing existed. I did not even know. So I'm like, it's not easily accessible to people who are like in this type of area, or like West Long Beach and stuff like that, or East Long Beach, like these areas that are like a bit more who face much more difficulties in terms of like accessibility. Like I feel like those kind of things aren't always ideal for these communities and stuff like that. And like for myself, it's like if I would have known about this, I feel like I would have become much more reassured within my own identity. I would have interacted more and stuff like that. But that's why I would like to open up a LGBTQ center, and then a women's center as well, because when I saw my mom get separated from my dad, she had this idea of like, what am I gonna do now, kind of, because it's like she's a resident here, Spanish speaker, and she knows English, but it's not like she can carry on a conversation. It's not her. The first education she's had is like I want to say elementary school or like maybe middle school and stuff like that, but but other than that, it's not really much and stuff like that in terms of education wise. And so like she's just all like, what am I gonna do? And then especially if like you and your brother end up leaving, like what am I to do? And it put into perspective this idea of like sometimes like a Latinx woman, well, my mom, who's Mexican, a Mexican woman, is sequestered into this thing of mainly working in the house and working to support the family, but not really working to help herself at times. So I would like to open up a women's center and just like have open resources for different things, such as I don't know, whatever it is that these women feel like they feel necessary, to just like support themselves, to make themselves feel even better. And that's the thing that makes it difficult for me, is like, why am I choosing to open up a women's center though if I am a male identifier? And I feel like it's taking away opportunities from a woman who would wish to do that as well, or a woman identifying individual as well. And I feel like that's the thing that kind of like makes me like very apprehensive about doing it, is knowing like my own privilege. If I were to open up the center, am I trying to be the voice for these women when overall who am I to be that voice because I'm a male, you know? So it's kind of like, but I do want to open up this center and I do want to do those kinds of things. And like I feel like also I'm still like pursuing psychology as my major. It's like having open doors to like so basically I'm doing a nonprofit and then having open doors as a with a psychology degree to really help individuals and stuff like that, if they feel like they need someone to talk to, like still have that idea of what I wanted to do, of just being the ears and just being that person who listens and stuff like that. So yeah, I thought this video was gonna be longer, but yeah, that was honestly my thing. And I think the main thing that I'm trying to point out here is the fact that like it doesn't, I feel like it really shouldn't matter what age it is that you are, but as long as you're able to finally realize what it is that you want to do, as long as you can find motivation into doing that, like really pursue it, unless it means harming someone and stuff like that, or it means like robbing a fucking bank. Make your own money, don't steal it. But overall, and that's something that I had to come into realization, is that when I was growing up, I would say that I am doing the things that I'm doing because I'm doing them for my brother and my sister. Now I've gotten into this mentality where it's all like, you know what, I need to be selfish now. I need to be okay with doing things for myself. And I'm kind of like, I'm doing this for me. I want to be happy. I want to do something that I find pleasure in doing. And see, that's something that I feel like kind of like gets me like, when people are like, yeah, I'm doing this just so I could get the money. I'm like, that sounds chill and everything, but if I'm not happy doing the stuff that makes me the money, then it's like, but I guess money is that thing that can make you happy and stuff like that. But I don't know, I feel like I'd rather be poor, not poorish, but like, you know, making a decent amount but still being happy, you know? And that's the reason that I'm doing what it is that I'm doing, I feel, to a certain extent. Something else though that I'm really trying to I'm really like iffy about is like going to the gym and then becoming a go-go dancer, because there's this one go-go dancer that I am following and I'm just like, I low-key want to be a go-go dancer. Like I'm not even joking. Like, but you know what? Who knows what's gonna happen in this fucking world? But you know what? I'm pursuing my dreams, and I hope all of you can do the same thing and be happy doing it as well. If you're not happy, should you be pursuing this dream? I'm just kidding. No. But yeah, that's the end of this video. It's hot. If you've been hearing, that's my AC. It's old as hell. So stay warm, stay hydrated. Bye.